Hello, I'm Brian Hock, and I'd like to talk to you about the final review and mock exams in your CMA exam preparation and how to get the most out of the last few weeks of your studies. First, I recommend dedicating about 3 weeks to your final review. This means that you should plan on having studied all of the topics 3 weeks before you plan to take your exam. You will use these last 3 weeks to make your final preparations for passing your exam. For the final review, start by just skimming through the entire textbook, including your annotations and study notes. Don't focus on reading individual sections or topics or trying to memorize any formulas. Instead, ensure that you're just looking at everything and familiar with all of the topics, particularly the large ones, and refresh your memory on key terms and concepts covered on the exam. It's been a long time since you studied Section A, and we just need to refresh your memory. If there are certain topics where you feel less confident, create focused study sessions by selecting MCQs by topic in the test bank. And choose questions that specifically cover the areas you need to work on. There's not much value added in doing topics you already know. We've also included some new essays in the final review. These were not part of the study process, and I suggest you answer each one, compare your responses to the suggested answers, and then review any areas where you might be struggling a bit. Next, it's time to take a practice exam. A practice exam contains 100 multiple choice questions randomly selected from the entire test bank that you've already studied, and it mirrors the distribution of questions on the actual exam by topic. It's timed for 3 hours, and you can take as many practice exams as you want to refine your time management and identify any weak areas. But at this point, just take one. Now, let's talk about the mock exams. Our mock exams consist of new questions that you have not practiced before. And like the real CMA exam, the mock exams include 100 multiple choice questions and 2 essay scenarios, each with several individual questions. You won't receive immediate feedback on whether your answers are correct or not. And be certain to set aside 4 hours without interruption to complete each mock exam. 2 to 3 weeks before your actual exam, take mock exam number 1. Then, 1 week before your exam, take mock exam number 2. This schedule will help you prepare both physically and mentally. By simulating exam conditions, you'll get accustomed to the timing, the pressure, and the endurance that's needed to sit through the full exam. And there's still enough time to go through the mocks and review any areas that you still want to look at again. As you get closer to your exam, you will begin to feel more anxious. This is natural. But as strange as it may seem at first, I don't want you to study very much, if at all, the evening before your exam. Instead, focus on getting a good night's sleep, eating healthy, and staying hydrated. At this point, 1 more hour of sleep is more important than 1 more hour of studying. And if you've been studying all along and following a plan, you are ready. And also, plan your clothes in advance. Wear layers so you can adjust to the temperature at the testing center. Make certain you check the location of the testing center, plan your route, and leave early to avoid any last-minute stress. And finally, double-check what you need to bring with you to your exam. And last but not least, I want to wish you success on your exam. You've worked hard to get to this point, and you have done what you need to prepare. And all that's left is for you to pass your exam.